Hello, and welcome to the Friday 5 for October 31st, the first ever Friday 5. I'm Samantha Sobolewski.
And I'm Alexis, Allison. Each week we'll be tackling 5 pop culture topics and giving you our 2 cents, as well as some input from an expert. This week we're talking Halloween horror flicks with movie critic Adam Nayman. Christmas, is it too soon to break out the holiday jingles? True Detective's latest announcements, this weekend's exciting SNL lineup, and the local music scene.
So, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. And one of the best parts of Halloween, in my opinion, is the overabundance of horror films that hit theaters in October and play on loop throughout the month. But what is it about horror movies that we like so much? Why do we pay hard-earned money to be scared?
We spoke with resident movie critic Adam Nayman, who teaches classes in film and writes for CinemaScope and the Globe and Mail.
My name is Adam Nayman. I'm a lecturer here at Ryerson. I also teach cinema studies at the University of Toronto.
Nayman grew up in the 80s watching flicks like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
When I was a kid in the late 80s, those were things that you weren't allowed to see because they were so shocking and so state-of-the-art and they were so contemporary.
He says the first movie that really scared him was The Shining. He was about 12 or 13 when he saw it.
I had a very hard time getting some of the images, some of the famous ones and also some of the not-so-famous ones, sort of out of my mind.
The TIFF Bell Lightbox on King is showing The Shining on Halloween night. It kicks off a Stanley Kubrick exhibition that will continue into January.
Seeing The Shining in a theater full of people in a proper widescreen projection, I can't think of a better way to spend Halloween.
So, if you're tuning in to Saturday Night Live this weekend, you might feel as if you traveled back a few decades. Chris Rock is scheduled to host the show with musical guest Prince.
We've heard that Chris Rock's first request was for Prince to be the musical guest. Guess he got what he asked for. Chris is going to be making his return to SNL for the first time after an 18-year gap. His comedy movie, Top 5, premiered at TIFF in September. It was bought by Paramount for $12.5 million, probably the biggest deal of the festival. Top 5 will open in wide release on December 12th, and we're looking forward to that one.
Prince will also play a 1-minute-long session with no commercial interruption, compared to the 2 usual musical spots, according to Rolling Stone, which is the first time in Saturday Night Live history. This is Prince's first appearance on the show since 2006. However, Prince has been popping up in pop culture all over the place. He just put out a new album on September 30th that went to number 1 on Billboard's R&B chart. What does this all mean? Purple Rain Forever.
So we're going straight from SNL and Halloween to Christmas. I know some people think it's too soon, but Christmas is 2 months away, and on November 1st, Hallmark Channel is going to start airing Christmas movies. We don't get it in Canada, but you can be sure that it'll happen soon enough in Canada as well.
So the 3 movies scheduled to air this month on the Hallmark Channel are Christmas Song, Baby's First Christmas, and Christmas Dance. All 3 of those films were produced by Toronto-based Chesler Perlmutter Productions, and all 3 were actually filmed in Hamilton. But the real question, though, is it too soon to be airing Christmas movies?
Personally, I think Halloween is over, and it's time to move on to the next major holiday. We've had Thanksgiving. I'm not too concerned that the Americans haven't. We got to put the lights up while it's still warm outside. What do you think, Sam?
Well, I definitely think it's too early to be playing holiday movies. I mean, America hasn't even had their first slice of pumpkin pie yet. Let's just let them ingest one holiday at a time. It is too early for lights to go up. You don't want to be that house that hangs their Christmas lights, puts them on when we haven't even hit December yet. And I think there's something special about saving holiday movies until December, so we're just not dragging the season out for too long.
You know what, Sam? My mom started her Christmas shopping in August, so maybe it's just an Allison family thing, but I'm pretty excited for November 1st. And on to some exciting news if you're Canadian and a fan of True Detective and Friday Night Lights.
So on Monday, in an interview with Adwire, Canadian-born Taylor Kitsch, star of Friday Night Lights and the really terrible Battleship, casually dropped that he's set to star in the highly anticipated 2nd season of HBO's True Detective, as long as the final negotiations work out. However, there have also been some serious reports swirling that fellow Canadian, Toronto-born Rachel McAdams, has secured the final lead role that was on the table, and that McAdams will go straight from filming Spotlight, the feature with Mark Ruffalo shot in Toronto, to True Detective. However, HBO hasn't confirmed either role. So I was a huge fan, or a true fan, if you will, of True Detective, but I know, Lexi, you did not tune in last season. Why not?
I mean, I tried, Sam. I really did. I think I made it through about 1 or 2 episodes, but it was just too slow for me, and I didn't hold my interest. I wasn't really sure where it was going. I don't know. Why'd you stay?
I really liked how intense it was shot. The cinematography was fantastic. It was different. We haven't seen anything like that on HBO before. And I think that's part of the reason that it caught so many critics' attention. Also, of course, the acting. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson. All right. It was just really, really interesting. But I want to know, with Taylor Kitsch and Rachel McAdams, do you have any plans to tune in this season?
I mean, it got rave reviews. I might give it another shot. Taylor Kitsch is hot, so is Rachel McAdams, so why not? There's some young gun talent in there, and I'm thinking they might take a different kind of point of view with it, so I'll definitely give it a shot again.
Well, we will see when it premieres.
Last thing on the agenda today, if you haven't made any weekend plans, there's some local concerts you can still grab tickets to. We're interested in Noah Gunderson at the Horseshoe. It'll run you about $20, but it is 19 plus. Capital Cities are going to take on the Danforth on November 4th. It's $30 to $45 for those. The Mounties are at Lee's Palace on November 1st. $20 for those. Note, Mounties are actually a Canadian band, so definitely want to check that out. And Usher is at the ACC on November 2nd. It's somewhere between $50 and $200 for those tickets, so unless you want to spend the big bucks, maybe go for one of the smaller guys. And the last one, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, is at the Opera House. Those tickets will run you about $40, and that's on November 5th.
Well, that's it for this week's Friday 5. I'm Samantha.
I'm Alexis. See you next Friday.